Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the world by talking common sense about the issues of the day, my friends. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. He is holding it down, going by the name Truth Box out there, because he just speaks the truth all day, every day. My man, Truth Box, what is going on tonight, brother?
What's up? How are you?
I am fired up, my friend, ready to rock and roll.
Waking up the world.
Waking up that whole world. You see me? I'm like, wait a minute, what's my catchphrase here? I didn't even know what to say, Juice. Wake up that world, wake up the woke, wake them everywhere. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Let's wake them up. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. So a few weeks back, the cover of New York Magazine went viral for placing a picture of a Trump inauguration party on its cover. As you just saw right there, the caption said, "The Cruel Kids Table," and it featured a group of all young, good-looking white kids decked out in fancy clothes. The magazine later took some heat because the party was much more diverse by skin color if they actually panned out a little bit, but we all know the game that the left likes to play with this stuff. It's nothing new. Now, I found myself thinking about this image and that implication that New York Magazine was trying to make here when they took out the certain word and replaced it with cruel. Now, I just couldn't get over that. I'm like, I couldn't move past it. I probably should have. And I guess I'll scratch that itch right here, Juice, if you will. So obviously that word cruel, it was inserted there and replaced the word cool. And like I just mentioned, I want to take the opportunity to try to reinsert that word cool right there where it belongs, because you better believe that the cool kids are there at that table. Now, Donald Trump has made politics cool again. These young, attractive up-and-comers in our country, they're tired of taking a back seat to the nerds and the losers of this world. I know that's a little blunt, but it's the truth. It's just plain and simple. Rachel Levine, loser. KJP, loser. Sam Brinton, loser. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Dr. Jill, losers. Now, you know why they're actually happy about this? It's because the MAGA movement is a return to the merit-based success as opposed to grievance-based success. The kids on the cover of that magazine are the same people that went through college and high school having to pretend that the theater majors were just as cool as the football players and the cheerleaders. They were raised in the body positivity movement that tried to tell the world that Lizzo was somehow just as good looking as Beyonce. Now, I've said this a million times already, but Trump is a loud, brash billionaire from New York, and he acts like it. He's never been ashamed of his status, money, or fame. He's succeeded at the highest of levels, and he's also failed at the highest of levels, but he is who he is. And he's appealing to a lot of people out there because he's telling us all now that we're finally able again to be who we are. And we'll see where the chips fall from there. I think those kids on the cover of New York Magazine were celebrating because they realize that it's an even playing field once again. They won't get passed over for a job because of their skin color or their gender. They won't lose out on a political appointment to a man dressed as a lady anymore. They know that Donald Trump has come along to restore the balance of nature, and they're excited because they realize they've been given back their opportunity to succeed. And with that being said, I do believe it's time to welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because it is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime!
Showtime, baby. There you go, Juice. Yeah, I don't know about those kids on the magazine. What were they, The Great Gatsby or something? Didn't it look like one of those types of parties?
Looked like a great party.
I would have loved to have been there. Would have been a lot of fun. Now, if you guys are following the news cycle, we have a lot to get to. I'm barely going to touch on the horrific plane crash there in DC from last week. That happened right after we recorded last week, I think, and we were, wow, shocking. And there's a lot to say about that, but I think it's been covered, and it's already this news cycle. The Donald Trump news cycle moves like this. So what just happened yesterday is kind of what took over the show, and that is the meeting between Donald Trump and Benjamin. Help me out, Juice.
Netanyahu.
Thank you. Needed to hear it there first. I didn't want to say it like Kanye in disrespect to the man. Now, it was a big meeting, and I guess the gist of what came out of it was I think we have a two-state solution back in play, Juice. Now, I don't know how versed you are or the audience is in Middle Eastern, politics and what's going on in that region.
Wouldn't be my first category on Jeopardy,
Yeah, I do hear you, but I think it's plain and simple. After what we saw happen on October the 7th with Hamas and the so-called Palestinian people that they represent, just going hog wild on Israel. I think that kind of told us where we need to fall on this. There's one country that has been there, that actually exists, that actually would like to have a peaceful settlement, and that's Israel. And they have the people in the Gaza Strip ruled by Hamas, voted in Hamas in place there. They'd rather breed terrorism. They'd rather breed anti-Jew hate, and it's kind of disgusting. Israel seems to have finally said enough is enough, and Joe Biden let them dangle for about 2 years here. He's catering to his left, and Donald Trump comes in, and immediately there's a shift in the balance of power of what's going on, and the left is not happy with it, Juice. They're not happy at all. And to help kind of get us up to speed here, we kind of found a few clips that we're going to bounce off you guys of the left's idea of a two-state solution and what should happen between Israel, Gaza Strip, Palestinians, and all that good stuff. So, Juice, why don't we start off with our former president, Joe Biden, see what his solution to this issue was.
Not only do we pray for peace, we are actively working for peace, security, dignity for the Israeli people and the Palestinian people. I'm engaged in this day and night. I'm working, as many of you in this room are, to find the means to bring our hostages home, to ease the humanitarian crisis, and to bring peace to Gaza and Israel, and enduring peace with two states for two peoples.
There it is. That's what he thinks, right? Two states for two people. You're going to hear that all the time. All those college kids protesting, all that nonsense. Two states, or certain colleges from the river to the sea, right, Juice? Not really much room for two states in that chant. So, how about former Secretary of State Anthony Blinken? I think he worked for Joe Biden. I'm assuming he might be going that whole two-state solution route. What do you think, Juice?
I don't know. I haven't seen this one. Let me pop it on.
The United States continues to believe that the best viable path, indeed the only path, is through a two-state solution. That's the only guarantor of a secure Jewish and democratic Israel, the only guarantor of Palestinians realizing their legitimate right to live in a state of their own, enjoying equal measures of security, freedom, opportunity, and dignity.
With those two states, right? Opportunity, dignity, all
The
that.
guarantor.
The guarantor. Yep. So that's his plan. Joe Biden's plan. What about Chief Warren? If she had control, if she had her way, maybe she'd be able to bring that peace they've been searching for the last 70 to 80 years between the Palestinian people and the Israeli people. Chief?
The two-state solution has been the official policy of the United States and of Israel for nearly 70 years now. How do you make that happen? You want to be a good friend to Israel and to the Palestinians? Keep pushing them to the negotiating table. Let them negotiate for all of the pieces they want, how they create a long-term sustainable home for Palestinians and a safe, stable home for the Israelis.
Now, Juice, one thing stood out to me there in what she said. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but she said that it's been the position of both Israel and the United States. She didn't say it's been the policy or the position of both Israel and Palestine. You know why? Because there is no country of Palestine. They're not there. It's controlled by Hamas. They are a fake government in control of a section of what should be Israel, if we are just being blunt about it. But they have no interest in a two-state solution. That's the lie that's been peddled to us. That's the little carrot they dangle out there to keep the left on their side. They try to play, oh, we want peace. But when they tell us who they really are, like when they do those chants on the college campuses that I mentioned, from the river to the sea, that involves the, complete annihilation of the state of Israel. And that's it. That's what these people want. So the two-state solution part is a lie that they sell to the Liz Warrens of the world. So they can sit there, the king of the castle, I'm in the chair, right? Like, and they think they're making the decisions up there, but they're not. They can have their fancy cocktail party and talk about the diplomatic two-state solution. We're not gonna, resettle anybody. We're not gonna displace anybody. We'll let them work it out. That's easy to talk about, right? There's no sadness to it. Like, this isn't an easy thing. I guess I'm pretty straightforward with my stance on it here, and I feel like it's pretty black and white, but it doesn't mean that it's not horrible what's going to happen to people. It's not devastating. It's basically war, right? It's the aftermath of war. So it just frustrates me that the left tries to play like the moral high ground on this, and we're going to come to a solution that everybody can agree on. And I think the lie that we've been sold is that both sides want a solution. I think the other side strings us along and pretends that they want a solution. And after their mistake with the attack, I don't think they're ever going to have an opportunity to do it again. Now, what if we go back even further than Biden, Blinken, Liz Warren, and go to Juice's favorite politician,
Mitt Romney?
John Kerry, your boy. And yes, he is that same one. Hopefully you guys remember that call back when we couldn't figure that one out. Now, this one happens to be John Kerry, and surprise, surprise, when he worked for Obama, he was talking about a two-state solution.
That we not lose hope in the two-state solution, no matter how difficult it may seem, because there really is no viable alternative.
Juice, I think I heard about a viable alternative, and it might be coming maybe right here if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Wow.
Make the Strip great again?
Make the Strip great, brother. Absolutely. That's a two-state solution I think I can get behind. Israel in the United States, because let's face it, that's who's been in control of that area already. It's just the game we play by pretending that the Palestinians actually have any control of power. They're gonna attack people. They're gonna do a terrorist attack from time to time, but essentially they can't go toe to toe with anybody. They have to do those sneak attacks. They get decimated, and then they slowly get to rebuild. People of that ilk like to do an attack like 9/11, get annihilated, go back underground for a little while and slowly build themselves back up. I get it, but essentially, if the United States wants to, we could take them out like that, militarily. It becomes an issue because everybody shows the families that are stuck living there. And I think Trump brought up a great point about this place it's who wants to live there? It's a hellhole. There's buildings collapsing everywhere. There's terrorists all over the place. It's not a fun place to be. And he says, let's build them a place they want to stay. They only want to come back there, his words, because they have nowhere else to go. And most people don't understand or don't realize there's never been a country of Palestine. There's Palestinian people. They're Arab. There's Arab countries all over the region. Why are they not allowed to resettle into Egypt? Why not go into Jordan? Why not go to Lebanon? Why not go to Qatar? There's plenty of places there, Juice. Israel is a tiny little sliver, yet this particular group of people don't want to let them be. Juice, do you know how many Palestinians, how many Arabs are in the Israeli government, elected positions?
No.
We're not facts and stats guys, so I don't have the exact number. But I'll tell you, there are some. There are more. They're represented within the government.
Some is the answer.
Some. I told you, not facts and stats. I was kind of like fingers crossed over here that Juice would be like, actually, yeah, there's 35.
Yeah, you forgot that one who just stepped down.
But no, the point isn't about a specific number. My point is the fact that they live in harmony, they live in peace, and they're accepted into the country of Israel. They're accepted citizenship opportunities. They're granted seats within their government. How many Israelis are elected into Hamas? I think we have that number.
Is that a zero?
It's a zero, dog. Zero number.
No dogs.
That tells you what you need to know about the situation.
No dogs allowed.
No dogs whatsoever. But it's like, come on. I don't understand why people try to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, but at the same, this isn't me going on a pro-Palestinian tirade, but not all Israelis are accepting a Palestinian. Like,
No, not at all.
Everybody's
But it's like there's going to be racism. There's racism in our country still. You know what I mean? But it would be like if we didn't allow like would we have Native American land here in America? Right? There's like reservations people live on. They have their own police. How's it classified, Juice? Is it like technically like not like the U.S. isn't allowed to do stuff in there, right? Don't they have their own tribunal, stuff like that? If we really wanted to, do you think our government could just go in and like take it if we wanted to? If
already did that.
If by chance the people that lived there were sending bombs at our major cities, what do you think we would do?
You would think so.
And it just feels like a similar situation to something like that. Except the people that live in the Gaza Strip, the people that elect Hamas, are not content to just live in their protected land peacefully and amongst themselves. They don't want to do that. They want to attack Israel because they hate Jews. Like, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I know it's not a perfect analogy, but that is an easy way for me to kind of think about it, at least.
Yep. Like you said, doing it black and white, but it's not that easy. And we're not going to solve it here in 20 minutes, but
no, not
appreciate the thoughts on it.
But I guess to tie it up, even though I did just kind of tie it up, to circle back like Saki, Trump's mindset here is basically like, well, this hasn't worked to this point. I think we've given this the old college try. Let's try a different approach. And that's what I like about it too. And, the whole two-state. Look how many administrations have been saying that. It's been way back, longer than that.
It's gotten worse.
So, I don't know. All right, Juice. Speaking of the return to something like, or trying to change things up from what we've been doing, right?
Yep.
I think we dug out an old bit from the old audio only days or the very early video days. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to shift into our rights and wrongs of the week.
This is where you play a little tune.
Right? Like something.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was trying to let it breathe for a minute.
Yeah, I didn't prepare that.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. The rights and wrongs of the week.
Number 1, wrong of the week.
All right. Why don't we do it, Juice?
Number 5, wrong of the week.
Wrong of the week.
So I'm going to I have a show of hands. How many of you believe that racism and misogyny played a role in Vice President Harris's defeat? Okay. So that's good. You all pass.
That's incredible. Juice, you want to let the folks know where that was from?
Where that was from?
Yes, sir.
The DNC chair thing?
DNC chair thing. The forum and stuff. They had a vote for, a chair. Unless I'm a moron, Juice, I'm thinking that's the same thing as like Laura Trump, right? They're trying someone like that who's in charge
chairwoman of the RNC.
RNC. That's the DNC trying to pick their people to do that after they just got smoked
and
by
didn't
Trump.
learn a thing.
Did not learn a thing because they asked that question.
That's not why everybody voted against you.
No. Why did you guys?
What was it? Racism and misogyny.
Racism, misogyny.
No.
Yeah.
Your candidate is dumber than it.
You can't. It's a moron. You guys stuck with first. You elected Biden like morons. Let him overstay his welcome. Then tried to overthrow him, and you replaced him with somebody worse than him. But let's just keep doing more of that. More of the same thing, Juice. For 1,000.
Let's get a right mixed in.
Okay, let's mix in a right, and this is our vice president. And this came from a Hannity episode, an interview with Hannity, and it stood out to me because I think this was a great job by the vice president to link America first to a great Christian idea, and he sums it up perfectly here, Juice.
Number 5, right of the week.
There's this old school, and I think it's a very Christian concept, by the way, that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your fellow citizens in your own country, and then after that, you can focus and prioritize the rest of the world. A lot of the far left has completely inverted that. They seem to hate the citizens of their own country and care more about people outside their own borders. That is no way to run a society. And I think the profound difference that Donald Trump brings to the leadership of this country is the simple concept, America first. It doesn't mean you hate anybody else. It means that you have leadership. And President Trump has been very clear about this, that puts the interests of American citizens first. In the same way that the British prime minister should care about Brits and the French should care about the French, we have an American president who cares primarily about Americans, and that's a very welcome change.
What is President Xi doing? What is Vladimir Putin
He's looking
doing?
after the Chinese. Putin is looking after the Russians. They're entitled to do that. Thank God we now have an American president who's looking after the citizens of his own country.
I love that at the end, right? Thank God he's looking after his own citizens. So the concept speaks volumes, right, Juice? Like you have to think about yourself and your own responsibilities, your own family first, and expand and expand and expand and expand out. You can't do it the opposite way, the other way around. And this is not, completely an original thought here. I'll admit, I've heard this take a little bit. I just want to expand on it, that the reason the left cares about those outside first and tries to work their way in is because that's the easy way to do it, right? It's a lot harder to actually raise your own children, and that takes time, energy, effort, love. It takes nothing to care about the poor Somalian kid that you see the commercial for on TV, or the, whatever, the person miles and miles away where all you have to do is make the sad face and, world
Cue
peace,
the Sarah
man.
McLachlan song.
Exactly. And that's why.
America
I don't know about
first.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Now, Juice, sidebar real quick. I don't know about you, but anytime I see videos of Vance now, I can't help but think back of that parody video we had a few weeks back before the election. Remember, they were like the dystopian world where President Vance has been in control for 40 years.
Yeah.
Remember, they show him like old, like AI generated.
Yeah, it was like an
with
action
Vance.
movie thing. Yeah.
I see him
Oh,
now.
yeah,
and
white
that
beard. He
image-
looked like Santa Claus. And
Yeah,
stuff.
they made him a little bit puffier, but he still had the same hilarious. Okay. We're back to the wrongs right here, Juice. This one would be the aforementioned Chief Warren, Elizabeth Warren. Now, this was her going at it with RFK, and I think she kind of exposed herself with the whole big farmer stuff, but she thinks she's got him, but he really has her in this.
So it's like a right and a wrong almost.
Kind
Is
of, yeah.
this a tribunal conference?
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You have said
You're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here. As Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy will have the power to undercut vaccines and vaccine manufacturers.
How does anybody take her serious? She literally looks like a lunatic, Juice.
Yeah, you know how people sometimes say, one, this is for entertainment purpose only.
Yeah.
You hear how people say like, oh, show me a picture of Michelle Obama pregnant, right? You've heard this before?
Yeah.
Show me a picture of Elizabeth Warren happy. Like it's never existed,
You're
right?
Right. Yeah.
Like has anything
She's
ever happened in her
unhinged.
life that has made her crack a smile?
No. And it's always the eyebrows are way up, right? The eyes are bugged out. The voice, it's just, She's so unlikable. I don't know how she continues to get elected. Like, I see that stuff, Juice, and I'm like, I am a out of shape, half-ass serious, like, dude doing a podcast in my basement, and I want to like run against her for Senate because I'm like, how could like me like just walk up and be like, this lady's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at her eyes. You know what I mean? Don't feed into her BS, basically. She's just nuts. I don't know how anybody can support that. And she's trying to grill him, asking him if he's going to make money by suing pharmaceutical companies. And he's like, dude, you don't want me to sue Big Pharma when they have outrageous prices, when they take, more, when they're buying influence of the politicians on stage, like the one he was talking to, who I believe has the second most money raised from Big Pharma in the Senate. It's like, it's wild, Juice.
Mind-boggling even.
All right. Now, let's go back to the rights then. And this is starting to remind me of how we used to do this. And remember, I would overtalk all the clips and the rights and the wrongs. Some things always stay the same, I guess, Juice. Now, this one here was the new press secretary, Caroline, the whole Pam situation.
Yeah, I can't help with that situation.
Carrie, Levitt. She is phenomenal at her job so far. 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, I'm like, wow, A+. What a different world we're living in.
Great, not as important as Trump's weeks, but she's been right along, playing the same message, right on cue, and she's been killing it. And
Love the
cross. A breath of fresh air, yeah.
It really is. Now, she had this awesome exchange we're about to show you. I think this is number 4, right, Juice? Number 4, right? Somewhere along those lines.
Yeah.
But on what she plans to do, or what this White House plans to do with illegal immigrants, and she crushes it here.
Of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office, can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
You may have one of the worst first. They all have a criminal record?
And welcome to the briefing. If they broke our nation's laws, yes, they are criminal. Yes.
Thank you. On
That's da. Like, right?
She should have took those two little mics, ripped them off, and dropped them. Like, that's a mic drop.
Unbelievable.
Moment.
Absolutely.
Just take those things and smash them down, maybe.
So good. Oh,
no
man.
More questions.
Yes.
Oh, that's like a court case, but
no, but she should have done it because it was warranted. It was incredible. It was I don't think I could think of a better way to answer that question. Well, they had
all of them. And then she threw like the dig, but like it's not always like dirty or something when it's true, right? It's like maybe the last administration didn't feel this way. Like that's facts and stats. So
it is. It's absolutely, and it's awesome.
I know you're not used to this, but that's how we're doing things. Like, right?
Yes.
She's so good.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Now, what about people that would maybe not be so good in like a situation like that? If they can't quite get their way, if they can't quite explain what they want to say, I think they'd rather just go out in the streets and scream and yell and honk and stomp and carry a flag with them. And that's kind of what happened in California, right, Juice? Some people in California end up protesting some, tariff war going on with Mexico and U.S. They don't like Trump. I don't know. It's something about that. And they just decided to take over a highway. Is that correct, Juice?
I believe so. Let's check.
All right. I don't know about you, Juice. That is one of the worst forms of protest.
I hate
I can't imagine.
the traffic disruption.
It's brutal, right? Every one of those people, just round them up. Let's go.
Please, you're wasting everyone's time.
Thank you. Thank you. Like, we don't have to put up with that. I don't care what your cause is. I don't care what you're protesting. That is just inhumane behavior. And there needs to be stiff, harsh penalties for doing that going forward. I don't know. Like, highway? Come on. I hate it. Every one of those people, Mexican flags in their hands, right, Juice? I don't get it. Like, you love Mexico that much. It's awesome. Whatever. You like that's your home country.
They got flights every day.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. And again, it is what it is. You should be proud of where you came from. You should, you should like your own home country. If that happens to be here, awesome. If it happens to be Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, anywhere else in the world, Italy, France, if you like those countries more than the country you live in, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to explore living in the country you like more than the one you're living in. I don't have that problem, Juice. I like this country that I live in more than any other country that I could live in. How about you?
100%.
All right, cool. So went up highway protesting. Mark it right now. Timestamp that, 36 seconds into the episode, Juice? We're not ever going to protest on a highway.
Confirmed.
Okay. All right, let's go back to our new favorite press secretary, Mrs. Levitt, and hear what she had to say about what was going on in Gaza before Trump decided to make it
don't give away
the 51st state.
Don't give away the punchline, but here you go.
This pause with so little notice. Why not give organizations more time to plan for the fact that they are about to lose, in some cases, really crucial federal funding, at least for a period of time?
There was notice. It was the executive order that the president signed. There's also a freeze on hiring, as you know, a regulatory freeze, and there's also a freeze on foreign aid. And this is, again, incredibly important to ensure that this administration is taking into consideration how hard the American people are working. And their tax dollars actually matter to this administration. Just during this pause, DOJ and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States to be a part of. So that wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. DOJ and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
Can't argue with that one, dude.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, it's great. What a delivery, too, huh?
I feel like, she can actually formulate a thought, not just rifling through a binder.
Yep.
Excuse me. Like she rocks that cross, right? And it's a pretty good size.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are people in the room who don't like it or on TV, etc. I hope throughout this tenure, it gets bigger, until she has a wrapper, one of these big Jesus pieces.
By the end of it, it's going to be like AOC's glasses.
Yeah.
She's actually rocking a full.
She comes out to the table and puts it down.
Oh, it's awesome. Now, we just showed you a couple of great moments of hers so far. Now, what do you think the ladies on The View think of that? They must be for women's empowerment.
Yeah, good, powerful woman,
right? Young. Successful career, wife and mother who can balance being a working mom, articulate.
Yeah, I bet they had tons of good stuff to say about it.
They must have, right?
I don't know what, so far, she's been great at her job, saying all the right things, and actually being able to speak to the press, which is
clearly a good communicator. Communication is a key
they'll probably touch
to her
on
job.
that. They would touch on that.
All right. Let's go to them and see.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Whatever I'm saying, this is the first time that she's been she may be. But my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
But on the issue of...
I don't even know what she's trying to say at the end there. That job
Without
wouldn't
us,
have been open
did she
to her
say?
without us.
Is that what she said? Yeah.
I don't know. I rewatched that a bunch trying to figure out what the hell she's talking about. She didn't know what she's trying to say. And then the first gal, oh, she's only there because she's a 10. Like, backhanded compliment.
Joy
she's
Beha,
pretty.
is that her name?
Yeah.
She's, like, then how do you guys have these gigs?
Exactly.
All zeros.
And you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me that Karine Jean-Pierre wasn't put into her position because of what she looked like? You mean to tell me Richard Levine wasn't put into the position that he was put into because of what he looks like?
100%.
Kamala Harris
like,
in the position she was in, right? Because of what she looked like.
And how dare they even like do that? Because like, if that show had any credibility, we know it doesn't. We know it's supposed to be this way, but like, put up, a clip of both the last two.
Yeah.
Like, how could that would end the show? Like,
it's night and day. Night and day, Juice. Like it's crazy. She clearly earned her opportunity, and I'm sorry, like, kind of part of like what my point I was trying to make in the monologue was is that a bad thing? Why try to make it a bad thing that she's pretty? Like, she's naturally pretty. Plenty of people would say Karine Jean-Pierre was pretty. Like, from their side, the left side, that would be appealing maybe to a leftist lesbian out there who they're trying to appeal to. I don't know. But the normal, regular, average person would look at Caroline Leavitt and be like, she's pretty. Karine Jean-Pierre, meh. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a no from me, dog.
And that's okay. That's
normal. That's not what I want. Normalcy. That's not what I want in my president, in my pilot, in my press lady.
No.
Who's best for the job?
Exactly. But the look of someone does matter, and it does play as well. It's not the be all end all.
Yeah, it helps.
To be good at your job. It's the reason sideline reporters in the NFL, they tend to be attractive females.
Except for that one lady.
Yeah,
she's been in the game for a while, and that might have been
a
misogyny.
Exactly.
Right?
Maybe.
You know that big lady?
Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Or whatever. But she knows more of the X's and O's, I feel like.
Sure, absolutely has to.
Might have even played a couple downs.
But maybe one or two might have been out there. But it works the other way too. Like the guys that are on television are attractive. You're not putting that. Who's that comedian you like? The Burt guy. He's not. He's not a news anchor. No. And it is what it is. So why do we have to pretend? Why do we have to pretend? And
it's a nice added bonus.
Exactly. Now, let's go back to that so-called 10 who's only there because she's a 10. And how about this one that we had this week where she was talking about the USAID money that just got slashed by Elon Musk and Donald Trump?
Another mic drop moment.
Yes.
Try to figure out a name like that. I know mic drop Caroline doesn't work, so
back
to the drawing board. Here you go.
Okay.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru, I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
And she should have just grabbed that fuzzy thing and threw it down the street.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
Leave it there, Levitt, or something.
Oh,
we'll leave it there.
And we'll leave it there.
Is that it? Is it Levitt or leave it?
Levitt.
Like Can you help with the whole leave it Levitt situation?
Leave it Levitt sitch, that whole thing. Now, to Juice's point a minute ago, though, do you remember what we just came from? Do you remember, the qualities that were mentioned about this person when they first started? And we're talking about Caroline Jean-Pierre. Caroline? Caroline. Karen Jean-Pierre. No, so we're going back to her. We'll throw it back this way and see what was important about her getting the gig 3 years ago, after she took over from Psaki. Totally different, night and day, these two people.
She will be the first Black woman, the first out LGBTQ plus person to serve in this role, which is amazing because representation matters.
Clearly, the president believes in representation matters.
I don't even understand.
But not reading or speaking, those don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter at all. Competency, intelligence, none of it. Now, what the hell does representation matters mean? I mean, we are all represented in the government by the people that we vote into power, right? It's a representative democracy. Now, the person who you vote for, the person who's going to make decisions, the person who's going to work best for you is only going to be good if they look like me, if they possess the same characteristics as me, like to have sex with the same people I like. Like, I don't get it, dude. It's crazy. Representation matters. No, we just have an activist we're putting in place who's gonna represent a tiny sliver of the community at the chagrin at the greater good for the rest of the people within their district, their country, their state. Like, that's what it's all about. They're an activist when they say that they're up there to represent. Ugh. Sorry, Juice. One gets me a little fired up.
Hit him with a right.
All right, let's give him a right. This will get us better, right? It's Trump going after his nemesis, that nasty woman, Caitlin Collins from CNN, and he was this was his response about mentioning the possibility of DEI playing a role in that plane crash from last week. So, Juice, let's hear this one.
Know the names of the 67 people who were killed, and you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control and seemingly the member of the U.S. military who was flying that Black Hawk helicopter. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people, you mean the names of the people that are on the plane? You think that's going to make a difference?
Does it comfort their families?
They are a group of people that have lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question. I'm surprised coming from you.
Are you blaming
I'm surprised coming from you.
That's not a very smart question.
Stop it.
Unbelievable.
Stop
Unbelievable.
it. Stop it.
Oh, it's great. So good stuff. A+ from the president. That's how you're going to handle these people. That's all. I hope he just 4 years of that.
What was the thing last week? Or I saw them just shut off that camera now. Like when he's talking about CNN.
Yeah. With CNN, he was like, oh, I shouldn't say that to too many people, but thankfully it was CNN and nobody's watching.
Yeah, and they just shut off their coverage. That. Yeah.
So nobody
during the inauguration and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, who's that? I've seen a ton of clips going around him interacting with what's that guy who just quit or whatever from CNN, after 18 years.
Oh yeah, Jim Acosta.
Yeah, there's a couple good ones of him ripping. He's like, "You're just rude." Like he kept trying to ask the question.
Oh, it's so good, so good. Oh,
stop
montage
it.
of Acosta. Now we did want to leave you guys with one more right as a little bonus, a little cherry on top, right? We gave you 5 rights, 5 wrongs, and brought it back. Now, let's end it on a high note. It is Super Bowl week. Chiefs are going for a 3-peat, something I would prefer not to have to see since the Patriots were never able to do that. But I also don't like Philadelphia, and it's kind of hard to argue with a quarterback who answers
Mahomes,
questions like
the best
this.
to ever do it, too, on top of this.
Right on the
Is
field.
he not? What do you think?
I don't know if I can get there yet, Juice.
Okay. All right, but yeah, here's a good. This is a great.
I know.
Best Mahomes highlight in a while.
I know there's a guy that I would say is better than Mahomes who would never start a on-field interview like this. So
yeah, I'll give you that.
Mahomes is starting to win me over a little bit.
Yeah, let's roll.
Patrick, we meet again in this moment, and now for you guys have the opportunity to head back to a Super Bowl and keep the chances of a 3-peat alive. We knew it would come down to the wire. How do you even describe this opportunity at hand?
I mean, first off, I want to give all glory to God. Without him, none of this is possible, and I truly mean that. And I'm just so proud of my teammates, man, how they responded. That was a great football team, and I'm just lost for words. I'm excited for New Orleans.
You were alluding to Tom Brady in that.
That is who I was alluding to.
He'd be like, all glory to, whatever's like
Alex Guerrero.
His plyogenics coach.
Yeah,
whatever, right?
Exactly. Avocado
all glory
ice cream.
to Guerrero. Yeah.
That is so true. And that's why I'm there, Juice. I'm close. In all honesty, I do think Mahomes is going to 3-peat. I would take the Chiefs if I were you guys out there. And if you go put a ton of money on the Chiefs and happen to lose, just hit up Juice. He'll make it right with you after that.
Yep.
All right. Let's bring this thing home, Juice. Now, you guys know we like to end the show every week with something we like to call the Come On, Man segment of the day. Now, this is when we find a clip of somebody doing something, saying something, acting in a particular way that even though we're going to poke fun at them a little bit here, make fun of them a little bit, there's not much else we can say to them except, oh, man. Because that's all you can say sometimes.
There's a bunch of
former
them.
President.
There's a bunch of them to poke fun of at this one.
Oh, man, this thing is nonstop. Now, this was back to that DNC Chair Forum thing where they were trying to pick their new leader.
Show of hands?
Shoot them up. Shoot them up. No, they did. We didn't pull the video of the whole group doing the Cupid shuffle, which we could have done.
They did that.
Yes, they did.
But I love that. Oh, is that to the left, to the left? Is that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. No,
that's not bad. That's a fun one.
Great one. Like that's the only one I know though. Like I don't know the electric slide and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
no, this one's
Jimmy
much
Crack
better than
on
the
and
electric. I don't know the Jimmy Crack.
No. What is that one? That the marching game that we were doing a week ago. Do you know what I'm singing though? No, all right. It's like an Irish one. You know what I'm saying? Not Jimmy Crack Corn, but dude, remember the kids were like in a square and they were trying to stay in the square while we played.
Oh, yeah.
What's that song?
Yeah. I don't know what the song was though.
Yeah,
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, whoa, Black Betty, bop it up.
Kind of like, it's kind of like that. It's not Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care.
I'm just like picturing Juice playing the spoons.
What is it? Though? Put that in the comments because we actually can find that.
Oh, that's good stuff. Now, that's not
the
clip we pulled. Now, what we found was just a montage of some of the shenanigans that took place at this, and we'll let it speak for itself here for a couple of minutes. Juice,
let it breathe.
Let it breathe.
Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, Papa. Gracias por todo. My name is Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all. Truly take it in.
This is the Democratic Party. We are our strongest when we stand together.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack. We're at a time where black and brown people, women, and other minorities are being blamed for everything that's wrong with this country.
So let's fight together for a stronger and more inclusive Democratic Party. Good afternoon, DNC! Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support in electing me as your DNC vice chair, because in a time of crisis, leadership matters.
My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the...
And I've spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people, all 340 million of them.
Work to do to organize, show up, and win. And that is why I'm asking the people who have stood with me.
We're sick and tired of your...
It just stops. Just stops.
Oh, I remember the name of that song, Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, yeah?
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Oh, okay.
Where did you come from? Cotton Eye. I said, Jimmy Crack Corn. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Jimmy Crack.
Unbelievable. Juice is in Song of the South over there with Uncle Remus.
Jacket on the side.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous, right? Like, imagine that. That was a whole montage of people, like, compare and contrast that to the picture of that New York magazine cover. Like, that was the point, like, I was going for earlier in the show. It's like, these people are losers. Like,
one of them looked like one of them looked like Cat Williams. You seen?
Oh
that
man,
one?
yes. The one lady who stopped mid sentence. There was a clip going around of her singing. She literally just started singing, like
Jimmy
as she was speaking.
And I don't care.
not that song. If she was singing that, we would have been good. It was just wild. They all were faces that were made for radio, and they're front and center on the stage here, trying to be the next generation of leadership to bring the DNC back into prominence.
But I thought we said that doesn't matter.
What's that?
What they look like. But they also sucked at what they were doing, it seemed like.
Well, the point, they did suck at what they were doing, I think, but it should matter what you look like, right?
And yeah. And
like
quickly,
you should, if you're not disciplined enough to take care of yourself and, present yourself in a professional, mature,
I'm speaking here.
Way.
Yeah.
How can anybody take you serious? How can you expect people to vote for you? Yeah, I'm speaking here. I'm a prominent, strong black woman. That's why I'm up here demanding that you pay attention to me, and I'm shaming you into it
not
by
that,
trying to
hey,
make
I have
you
good
feel
ideas.
bad, like, oh, because I'm black and I'm a woman. Yeah.
What if it was like, hey, I'm here regardless of what I look like or may seem, but I have some great ideas for this party to get us over the hump,
Exactly.
in 2028.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be?
That'd be great. That should be what you would think you'd be looking for. And I think to top all this off, Juice, they elected two white men as like the president and vice president after when all was said and done.
Side show note, Jimmy Crack Corn is a song about an enslaved African named Jimmy who cracks corn for his master. I did not know that when we're doing all right. So don't take that. Don't take that to mean
the reason he lives in Georgia, folks. This guy. He's got Jimmy cracking the corn downstairs on him right now.
That was a coincidence.
You run a clean act? Is that what you're telling us?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is
so to all those people at the DNC.
Yes. all you people at the DNC, and especially Juice and his Jimmy with the corn cracked. You guys have all earned yourselves one big fat classic.
Come on, man.
And that's the show tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to the show. And until next week, thanks
for having
us.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.